Well, hello again there, guys. This is Brian, the 3 Topics Gamer, here to give you another episode of my Versus Series Season 6. And for this matchup, we will be returning to Final Fantasy and pitting these two unique ladies who both serve as temporary party members in their respective games against each other, as Beatrix, leader of the Alexandrian soldiers from Final Fantasy IX, will take on Aranea, the mercenary of the 87th Airborne Unit of the Niflheim 3rd Army from Final Fantasy 15, to see who would win in a one-on-one battle. Now, due to the underwhelming performance of the last 3 matchup videos that I've uploaded this year, I've decided that from this point on I'll be doing my matchup videos in the much shorter style that I was testing out in Season 5. Now, before I begin, I would like to state right now that I will be taking all of my information and sources from both combatants based on what I was able to determine from their appearances from their respective games, along with a few bio websites that I was able to find online. And if you happen to enjoy this video by the end, I would really appreciate if you give this video a like, subscribe, and make sure you share this video on all your social media outlets. That way you can better spread the word and improve the performance of this video. Now let's begin my analytical breakdown by starting with General Beatrix. Now, not much is known about General Beatrix's early life, but what we do know is that she was born in April of 1772 and grew up within a middle-class family in the city of Treno, but would eventually move to the city of Alexandria to join the military. Beatrix was shown to be a prodigy combatant and would rise through the ranks, eventually elevating herself to becoming the highest-ranking Alexandria who was not of royal blood. And at the age of 17 or 18, she would take part in a sparring match against Steiner, who was the leader of the Pluto Knights, and would be defeated by him. Now, this defeat would start a rivalry between the two that would push Beatrix into becoming an even more dedicated soldier, and over the next 10 years she would spend every waking moment that she could developing her combative skills in all departments, and would eventually be recognized as the greatest swordswoman in the continent, and even establishing a legend that she was able to take down 100 knights at one time all by herself. Now, over the course of the game, Beatrix will serve directly under the Queen, obtaining jewels to summon a creature while fighting the main party on 3 different occasions. But after discovering that the Queen was planning to get rid of Princess Garnet in an attempt to pursue world domination, Beatrix would actually switch sides and join Princess Garnet, who would then become the new Queen of Alexandria following the death of the original Queen. Beatrix would return to Alexandria with Garnet and her allies, and during Kuju's attack on the city, would actually fight alongside Steiner to fight Mistudon creatures, and after Kuju was defeated, both Beatrix and Steiner, now working together, would continue to serve under Queen Garnet. When it comes to Beatrix's armament, she wears a set of heavy armor and gauntlets for protection, but has removed parts of her armor, specifically the upper arms and upper thigh area, and I believe that she did this in order to grant her more mobility and not weigh her down, reducing her speed. Her primary weapon was named Save the Queen, which was a long sword used by holy knights and had the ability to enhance the combative properties of its users in the departments of strength, speed, spirit, and magic. Now, speaking of magic, though Beatrix did not develop a wide collection of spells to use in combat, she seemed to value quality over quantity by developing a small collection of magical attacks that could deliver devastating amounts of damage with one strike. Channeling her magic through her Save the Queen longsword, Beatrix could perform attacks such as Thunder Slash, Stock Break, Shock, and Clem Hazard, and using her limited but powerful magical attacks was able to successfully defeat the main party on 3 different occasions. As a combatant, Beatrix's skills with the blade, placed alongside her powerful collection of magical attacks, placed her in the job class of a paladin. As a swordswoman, Beatrix was again recognized as the most skilled warrior in the continent, with her reputation being known all across the land. And looking at Beatrix's overall combative tactical approach in battle, she seemed to focus on a balance between attacking and defending, but this was all meant to draw out a fight long enough so she could grant her enough time to not only analyze her opponent's combative patterns, but charge up her magical attacks. And when the moment was right, she would then deliver a one knockout devastating attack, thereby ending the fight right then and there. Now, when it comes to Aranea's backstory, when she was young, her village was attacked by demons and she and the other children were sheltered at a local church while the adults went out to fight. Though Aranea wanted to fight, fearing that she would lose her parents if she was separated from them, she was told that she was too young and that she should stay back in order to look after the other children. When Aranea grew up and developed her fighting skills, she would then work as a mercenary and would be eventually hired by the Niflheim Empire due to her impressive skills. As she rose through the ranks, she was given her own unit to command, which also included 2 subordinates named Biggs and Wedge, which she had known since she was a teenager. After the invasion of Insomnia, Aranea would then be tasked to kill Prince Noctis and capture Leia Lufreya, and though she would engage Prince Noctis and his protectors, she would leave the battle stating that she had not been paid at a certain time. When Noctis and his protectors made their way to Vesperpool to explore a temple, Aranea would join them, having been ordered by the Chancellor of Niflheim, Arden, and Aranea would then reveal that the Empire was harvesting specimens to make them into demons for warfare, and that she did not agree with this practice. But it was only after the Niflheim Empire had attacked Ostia, causing the deaths of countless civilians, that she would then cut ties with the Niflheim Empire and begin fighting against them. And now, during the 10 years that Noctis had disappeared, Aranea would fight against demons when the sun went down, revamping her reputation from being a weird who was feared to now being revealed by the people as a protector. When it comes to Aranea's ornament, she wears a suit of armor dubbed the Dragon Mail, which consists of red and black leather armor that has a scaly appearance similar to that of a dragon. She also wears a long white cape and a red symbol, which is also meant to somewhat mimic the appearance of a set of dragon wings, and completing her armor set with a black helmet. Her primary weapon was called the Stas Spear, which was a uniquely designed spear that incorporated Magitech technology, which allowed its user to soar through the air. Though it is stated that the Stas Spear is extremely difficult to use, with enough time and practice, Aranea was quite skilled using this weapon. Though Aranea was unquestionably described as a Dragoon-style combatant, Aranea had never been shown to have a strong uses in the art of practical magic, but the Magitech technology built in her Stas Spear allowed Aranea to perform two unique technique attacks. While fighting outdoors, Aranea's first technique attack was called Highwind, which allowed Aranea to leap high into the air before hurling downward with a powerful strike, and this strike was so powerful that it could actually put large enemies into a vulnerable state. When she was fighting indoors, Aranea's second technique attack was called Dragoon Dive, which was a powerful forward thrust strike that could also place large enemies into a vulnerable state. Aranea's tactical combative approach was built entirely on a straightforward speed-based offense, an attempt to wear an opponent down and overwhelm them, while staying always on the move to be prepared herself for an opponent's counter-offense. She will respond with her own speed-based attacks while cycling through her two unique technique attacks as many times as it takes to finish off an enemy. Now that we've broken down these two ladies, it's now time to determine which one I believe would emerge the winner. And that winner is going to be General Beatrix. General Beatrix is going to take the win in this matchup solely based upon her use of her magic and her superior tactical approach. While Beatrix and Aranea easily match each other in terms of their combative performances, Aranea's overuse of her technique attacks is going to make her painfully predictable. While Aranea will be trying to wear Beatrix down, Beatrix will be setting Aranea for a knockout blow. Due to Beatrix's years of training and experience, along with having, in my opinion, a superior tactical mind, she would be able to contend and defend herself against Aranea's speed-based attacks. But when Aranea starts performing her technique attacks, she's going to be telegraphing exactly what she's about to do, and therefore grant Beatrix more than enough time to react. Over the course of Aranea's life, she has spent more time performing her technique attacks against demons and large enemies, and when she attempts to use her Highwind attack, Beatrix is going to have plenty of time to jump out of the way before Aranea lands. And when she starts using her Dragoon Dive, she preps herself before striking, which again will give Beatrix time to jump out of the way. And because Aranea's entire approach to combat is centered around cycling between these two technique attacks, Beatrix is going to be able to come up with a strategy to win the fight by relying on what she does best, which is drawing out the fight and charging up one of her magical attacks. All Beatrix needs to do is defend herself against Aranea's base speed attacks while responding with her own basic counterattacks, and every time Aranea attempts to use one of her technique attacks, Beatrix is simply going to evade and dodge, and once Beatrix has spent enough time charging up one of her attacks, she's going to wait until Aranea uses one of her technique attacks one more time. Then all Beatrix needs to do is evade and immediately respond with one of her magical attacks, which is guaranteed to land, since after each technique attack, Beatrix noticed that Aranea was momentarily exposed, and with Aranea having taken such a devastating hit, she would be left completely open to a final finishing blow. I declare Beatrix, the Paladin of Alexandria, the winner. Now that this Final Fantasy themed Versus Series matchup is finished, I would love to hear your thoughts on my breakdown, along with how you all believe this match would play out. Share your thoughts with me and everyone else in the comments down below, and please remember that this breakdown is just my own personal opinion, so don't feel too bad if your favorite Dragoon in Final Fantasy got cut down. Like always, thank you guys for watching, and now here's a quick preview of my next Versus Series matchup due to be released near the end of next month. Please enjoy, and I'll catch you all next time.